Hey, what's going on, guys? Brian Maples back with another video. It's been a long time. Guess who's back? Back again. So I am happy to be back. I feel rejuvenated. I am excited about making some new videos. I'm going to try to do one a week, try to keep it realistic. Um, but yeah, there's a lot has changed since I've been on last, and I'm excited to kind of give you guys some updates and then hopefully provide more content that's going to help you be a better seller online, whether it's Amazon. I've gotten into eBay, although I'm not an expert in that. And I've also started into drop shipping on a website, which I'm currently failing at, but it's only a matter of time before I hit that and do well there. So testing products. So anyway, let me jump right to it, guys. I want to talk a little bit about mindset and just I want you guys to know that you can succeed and do this. And I've done it myself on a shoestring budget. You can do it too. Um, One of the things I kind of I've studied a lot of people that are successful and a lot of the different motivational people and coaches and successful people. I think it's important to understand their mindset and their values and what makes them successful. And one of the kind of mantras I kind of had in my mind when I was first starting was there's a great movie with called The Edge with Anthony Hopkins and Alec Baldwin, and it's an older movie. I'm getting old. It's not that old, but it's older. So there's a bear stalking them. He's stalking them. He's trying to kill them. There's a huge bear, and they're stuck out in the middle of this forest after a plane crash. I think is what it was, and he starts telling Alec Baldwin, "We're gonna lure this bear in. We're gonna kill the bear." And Alec Baldwin's character is saying, "I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna work." He said, "We're gonna kill the bear," and he said, "I'm not gonna die out here. We're gonna do this." And you can tell Alec Baldwin's character does not buy in. He does not believe they can do it, and he just starts. He said, "I want you to say, I'm gonna kill the bear. I'm gonna kill the bear." He has him say that multiple times. And he says, "What one man can do, another can do. What one man can do, another can do." Just repeats it over and over. And that's the kind of mantra you need. What one man can do, another can do. If I can do it, if other people can do it, you can do it too. So you got to believe that. At least if you don't believe it, you got to say it to yourself until you do believe it, until you see the results. Because I don't always fully believe it until I start seeing good results. But you have to start there. You have to start with that belief. And if you truly want to do it and you have a passion for it, nothing can stop you. I don't care what race you are. I don't care what circumstances you came from. If it's not happening for you, look in the mirror because that's who you should blame. Not anybody else, not society, not your place in life. Don't say there's some system against you or there's some person that's holding you back. You don't have any money. You don't have a daddy Warbucks as an uncle. I don't have any of that stuff. And I might have had advantages other people haven't had. And sure, life's not fair. There's people that are born millionaires and people that are born in the slums, right? If people have come from nothing, have achieved so much bigger than what I've achieved, I know it's possible. Anybody can do it. You have to believe it. You have to start with a mindset if you're going to do this. What one man can do, another can do. I don't care if you don't have money. I don't care what ethnicity or race you are. It doesn't matter. If you believe it and you really want to achieve it, you can absolutely do it. You'll find a way. This is what God gave you. He gave you your mind. You need to think and find a way. The mind's unbelievably creative, and you can find ways to do it. And you have to work at it. If you have, if you don't have the money, get a side job. Build up the money. Find a way to do it. There's ways to do it. You've got to hustle, man. You've got to do it. So I'm here to tell you it's possible. Did $1 million in revenue for the trailing 12 months. I met my goal. I sold the company. I've paid off my house. I've paid off my car. I'm not rich by any standard, by any stretch. I have a long way to go, but I'm going to get there. My next goal is to over $1 million in profit. That's what I'm going to reach. I want to reach that within 3 years. So I'm setting that goal today, and I want to have two businesses. So how am I going to do that, right? So what I've done is I've signed up for Just One Dime's program. If for those of you that don't know, they basically start and run the business for you, the Amazon business. They launch 3 products, but it's extremely expensive. So if you're starting a shoestring budget, that's not where you want to start. You want to start like I did. Start building from the ground up, right? You got to come up with your own product research. You've got to wear all the hats in the business, and you've got to do it that way. It's possible. There's plenty of opportunity out there still. Amazon is not one. It's not easy. So if you believe that, you're wrong. And it's the people say it's saturated. It's not. There's plenty of opportunity out there. You have to do the work. You have to put the time in to find the things that are going to be successful. Sometimes you're going to fail. I failed on multiple products, but I hit on some ones that were really huge for me. So I'm doing the one dime program. They do it for you. It costs 60,000 plus. I know it sounds nuts, but they'll launch 3 products for you, and there's other costs involved too, like pictures, PPC. They take a huge chunk of the revenue, but I believe they're going to do it because they're professionals. And the reason I'm doing that is because it's going to run on the side. And I don't have to put my time into it, so I'll have that growth. If I'm going to put my money in anything, it's going to be e-commerce. So e-commerce, in my mind, is only 14 to 15%. It's going to continue to grow. I'd rather put it in e-commerce. The upside is so much bigger, and I believe this group, this individual with his workers, will be able to do it. Patrick Calipari, he's hopefully I pronounced that right. He's on YouTube, great seller, multi-million-dollar seller. Works with Seth from Just One Dime, and I'll tell you what, guys. I mean, if you have the money and you want to invest and you don't want to put the time in, it might be a great investment tool. You could put it in the stock market. You could put it in cryptocurrency. You can do whatever you want with it. But I choose to put my money into the e-commerce space because I truly believe it's only going to continue to grow massively. There's so much room left. If only 14, 15% of retail sales, and I might be off a percent or two there, but if that's all there is, retail sales, now imagine it in 10 years. It's going to be 40, 50, 60%. Eventually, it's going to be the dominant, in my opinion, the dominant way to buy things. Brick and mortars are going to continue to suffer to losses of the internet sales, but they're still dominating right now. Oddly enough, most people I hear say, they think online sales are 40, 50% or more, or 60 or 70, but they're not even close. So there's still massive opportunity for areas that you think are saturated will only continue to grow, right? So the time to get in is still now. You have plenty of time. There's, in my humble opinion, there is time to get in and be a success. And, you might come from not a lot of opportunity. Maybe you came from a tough area and a tough school. Maybe you don't have any money, but you can do it. If you truly can see it and believe it, you can do it. I mean, when I started truly believing, I started making some sales, and then I set that goal of 1 million in 12 months, and I succeeded. It was like I saw it in the future, and I saw I can do this. And then you truly start getting that belief. And when you have faith, I mean, you just got to push your chips in, and you've got to do it. I'm not suggesting, this is my opinion. Again, you do what you want, but I mean, part of the struggle to get there, whether it's working an extra job, working a side job, or working a side business while you work a full-time job, that's life, man. That's the zest of life. Like, I don't want to sleepwalk through life. I don't want to be telling myself when I'm 60, 70 years old, God willing, if I can get there, that I looked back and said, man, I wish I would have given it a shot. I wish I would have tried. Instead, I just sleptwalked through life doing a job I maybe kind of liked or didn't like at all, or maybe could barely stand, or maybe just flat out hated it. Whatever your situation is. I mean, the job I had prior, I didn't hate it. There was a lot of great aspects, but it wasn't truly something that made me truly happy. And I always wanted to do something for myself. And there's opportunity out there that we've never had before. You can start a business cheaper than ever. Some may say 20, 30 years ago was a great opportunity to do businesses. I say today is the best time in history to open a business. You can do it cheaper than ever. The opportunity is massive. There's no reason you can't do it if you truly believe you can do it and want to do it. You have to change that mindset. You got to stop making excuses. If you're not succeeding, and if you want a Lamborghini, that's what motivates you, go get it. If you want a big house, go get it. If you want more free time with your family, go get it. You can only you can't blame anybody else. You can't blame your family. You can't blame society. That's a bunch of crap. If you truly want to do it, people have come from nothing and have done way more. Helen Keller, my gosh, she couldn't see or hear. Imagine what she accomplished. There was a story, and I wish I could remember her name in the movie. A little black girl. This was years ago, and she went 5 miles to a school to learn how to read, because some white girl told her that she could read, and this was again years ago. Um, she try to get, I guess she said, you can't have this, you can't read, you don't know how to read. And she decided then, she said, the only difference between me and this little white girl is I can't read and she can, so I need to learn how to read. And she ended up starting a huge school and was the president of like this most successful black school in the country. So she came from nothing, was dirt poor, and look what she became. I think she was like one of 17 kids, like 14 of 17. Like, it's insane. And she just had that determination. She didn't quit. So, and one guy was blind. He went blind, I think, in his 20s. And he thought he was going to be a football player. He had all the skills to do it, right? Thought he was going to NFL and went blind. And instead of, they told him he wouldn't leave the room, he would stay there, he'd have to be on disability. He ended up writing like tons of books and was successful in business and just absolutely achieved, like, blew it out of the water. So, if you can believe it and you can find a way. If use your mind, come up with creative ways to do things. Your mind's an amazing thing. Let it go to work, and you got to start dreaming and believing that stuff and taking risks. Part of it's taking a risk. I had $120,000 in inventory, and if Amazon would have shut me down or something would have happened, God forbid, I would have lost potentially all of that. So at some point, in my opinion, you got to push your chips in and just go for it. And I'm not suggesting you go put it on black or red in the casino. What I'm saying is I made an educated choice, because I really wanted it, and I did it. And I started from nothing, and I slowly built it up. So if you guys can believe it, if one man can do it, you can do it too. I don't care what your circumstances are. Stop making excuses. Go ahead and do it. So anyway, that's my rant. I'm living proof of that. And I didn't believe it until I saw Paul online. And he has a great university. If you guys want to start there, that's a great way to do it. I highly recommend getting a mentor if you can afford it, if you can find one. I think you can. So what I'm doing anyway, just to give you a quick update, I'm doing the One Dime program. I'm also doing a product savants. What that is, they actually do the research and pick the product for you. And the reason I'm doing that is it's going to save me a lot of time. It's going to save me money on sourcing potentially. I think they can get a much better price than I could. So it's going to be a tremendous opportunity. You pay them 5% royalty plus money up front, but overall it's well worth it, because if I make more money, they make more money. So it's beneficial, and it's going to help me grow faster, and it's going to take a lot of the hard work out of it for me. So, one of the things I've learned is find people that are experts in their fields, find people that are experts at doing specific tasks if you're not great at those, or if you don't want to put the time in to do it. And you can do great. So I'm starting a business on my own, doing the Product Savants product, and then I'm having One Dime build another business on the side. In the meantime, I have eBay too, if I can get it back up and running. So that's a long story, but I'm going to have multiple ways to make money. Because I have the cash flow now from the first business, I can parlay that and hopefully grow faster, right? So my investments will hopefully grow. And I believe in the e-commerce space, so I'm going all in almost on e-commerce. So, don't make excuses. If you guys want to do this, I'm going to try to give you guys some tips that'll hopefully help you and that will help you be successful. But you absolutely can do it. It's not too late. You have to believe it, and you have to make the conscious choice to do it. Like anything else, it's all on you. It's not, and if you need, again, you can get experts to do things, whether it's PPC or somebody to help you source with shipping. I can offer those resources to you. They do cost money, yes. So you may have to wear a lot of hats when you first start and do it on your own. But it's possible, because I've done it, and I've seen other people do it. And I know now that you can literally make a living online sitting at home, doing it, not getting up and commuting. I mean, my life has completely changed. My debt is gone, and I can spend more time with my family if I want, or I can, I can do whatever I want. I can work harder. I can do what I want. It offers me freedom to do that. I'm not swimming in riches. I am not driving a Lambo. I drive a used Subaru Legacy. I have a small, reasonable house, and I'm not excessive, but I have freedom to do what I want the way I want to do it. So that is something that's priceless. So if you guys want, again, to do that, you can. Just got to do it, man. You got to do it, and you got to believe it. And hopefully, if you have any questions or anything you want to ask about Amazon, I would consider myself pretty close to an expert, if not an expert. even product research, which I'm doing with One Dime. We talked about a couple products they had done, and it's funny because he mentioned two big products, and I had both of those on my list. I used to do a list, so I kind of validated my product research, and I highly recommended those two products to multiple people. I thought they were great opportunities, and they're doing $1 million in revenue. One person, I think, is doing $1 million in revenue for one of those products. So the opportunity is still out there. You just got to find it, and you got to do the work. So hopefully I can bring some of that content to you guys. If you have something specific you want me to talk about, please let me know, and I will be happy to go into it. I am just brushing up. There is some. I haven't kept up with all the updates on Amazon. I know the ASIN limits have just changed, I believe, to higher, but I believe the overall storage space has gone down, if I'm understanding correctly. So you'll be able to send in more than 200 units, but your overall storage space has gone down, from what I understand. And that probably depends on if you've sold a lot, if you're a seasoned seller. For new sellers, it's good news. I think it might actually hurt some seasoned sellers. I'm not sure of all the details there yet. If you have anything you want me to discuss, I'd be happy to do that. Just hit me up in the comments. And if you have any questions, I can try to answer them for you at FBA Commute. I do not do any kind of coaching anymore. I just don't have the time or the zest to do that. I don't do a list anymore. It's just too much work. Again, that's why I'm outsourcing this stuff. But yeah, I hope to bring you guys some great content. I did mention I was going to do a course. I am going to still work on that. Now that I'm setting up a new Amazon account, I'll start with that on how to set up an Amazon account. And I'll go from there. So hopefully, again, I'll bring you guys some good content. I'm going to talk about some other things that aren't just Amazon related, maybe some stuff with eBay and drop shipping, which I am failing at currently, but working on, but I'm not going to quit. And I'm going to try to, one of the greatest stories on there was a guy he was digging for gold. He struck gold, bought all this equipment, lost the gold vein, couldn't find it again, sold the mine for $100. The guy that bought it brought in a geologist. It shifted. It was a few feet, 3 more feet he would have dug, he would have hit the gold again. He decided then, that guy heard about this after he sold that mine, decided he would never quit again. That gold could be 3 feet ahead. You just don't know. So don't ever give up. If you truly want to do something, you're going to find a way to do it. And I wholeheartedly believe that. It's not where you come from. It's not your circumstances. If you believe that, you're going to be a failure for the rest of your life. I promise you that. So if you want to continue to believe society is holding you down, or you don't have anybody rich in your family, so you can't become rich, well, then you'll be poor the rest of your life, and you'll blame everybody else. But I'm telling you, it's up to you to make it happen, not anybody else. And it's possible. There's no question in my mind. The nice part about online selling, it does not. You could be anybody in the world, and you can do it. What I mean is, it doesn't recognize my skin color. It doesn't recognize my gender. It doesn't recognize my ethnicity. Wherever you're from, it doesn't matter, because they can't see me. I'm working behind the scenes. So you can't blame anybody if, it has nothing to do with who you are as a person, regarding, I guess, your characteristics on the outside. It matters what you have inside and how hard you're willing to work for it. And I started with nothing. I was a paycheck to paycheck guy. I started with a few $1,000s I got from a tax return and some credit. And I put it on the line, and I did it. And that's, you got to be willing to take risks, in my opinion, if you're going to be successful, if you don't have anything to start. So anyway, I hope that motivates you guys to do something. And I hope I can bring some great content to you. I want you guys to have a great weekend. It's nice to be back, and I'm going to try to do 1 video a week at least, just so we can talk about Amazon and the different changes. And I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for watching.